Correct. So there was still the cook was still awake, or at least there was somebody in the kitchen moving around and doing things. So yeah, definitely at least one person is still awake in the abode.
Yeah, I think at the very least I would leave and close the master's quarters.
Sure.
Maybe try and meet up with Chester before going.
So you see Chester, like, probably at this point he's like creeping out of the room, and he closes the door, and you can hear really the commotion like coming from inside the room, and like Chester like looks at you, and you look at Chester, and you just do the finger over the mouth, Chester, just like real quickly, like finger over the mouth, and then head off, grab your book. And you guys meet at the top of the staircase, or Farron, do you go down by yourself?
I would meet at the top of the staircase if I could.
Yeah, need to meet up.
Okay, yeah. So you meet up at the top of the staircase. The noise has quieted down from inside of the child's room. It appears that he rolled over and went back to sleep, or kicked the dog off the bed, or whatever. So you guys creep downstairs, I assume, together.
Mm-hmm.
And you get downstairs.
With some nice hand motions, Chester would actually point towards the front door and be kind of like, I think we should go.
Yeah, I would kind of agree, and I think we should skulk off quietly.
Okay, yeah. Get out while the getting's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
awesome.
Chester still has some stuff to do.
Get out while the getting's good. All
There's
right.
a horse that needs some attention.
Yeah, you were gonna try and steal a horse, right?
I am so
Jesus
trying to steal a horse.
Cool. Yeah. So you go out the front door and you go back around to the back. Baron, how do you feel about this plan? Is this an obvious thing that you have like gave hints that you want to do, Chester?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
When I visibly went over to the horse to check out the stables.
Yeah.
I mean, jewels we can have in our backpack and fence off, but an entire horse, especially when we're getting on a boat and things.
I think Chester's planning ahead for that note he still has in his bag, worth a little bit of money.
Okay.
Chester needs a horse.
Okay.
This is Chester's thought. Chester needs a horse.
All right. So you're going for there was a stallion, and there was 2 mares, and then there was a colt, I think.
Yes, the big black stallion.
Yeah, the big black stallion with the like the white like diamond on his nose.
Yep.
So yeah, so you approach again, and they recognize the smell. And so like they don't skitter as much as when you approach. And as you approach, like the stallion, kind of just like observes you with indifference almost. What's your approach here? Are you literally just gonna like try and saddle it up and ride it out, or are you gonna just like try and lead it out?
I know horses don't normally like me, so I'm gonna try and show it dominance and just punch it in the mouth.
Sure, yeah. Roll an animal handling check to see if you can dominate this proud stallion.
Nope. No.
Sure, yeah, and I think that immediately the horse's reaction, when you attempt to, like, dominate it, okay. Hold on one moment.
This is gonna go fantastically.
Can Chester be the horse in combat?
I just missed the horse that was standing still. It's great.
Let's see here.
I mean, we may be able to buy your horse with the loot we just stole.
But it won't be this horse.
It's true. It won't be the Skyrim horse that apparently horses in Skyrim you can just get on them and they love you, which never made much sense to me.
Ever.
A lot of things don't make sense in that game.
Indeed.
But that's fantasy.
This horse needs some dominating. That's all I'll say.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the actual... there it
Chester
is.
out of context, that sounds so wrong.
So,
I mean, it can only sound
it
one way.
raises a hoof and like strikes out at you, not like maliciously, but
Just kind of in retaliation.
yeah, just like in retaliation, and hits you.
I'm gonna uncanny dodge.
Okay, so you're gonna have the damage.
Yeah.
So you take 4 damage from it. So it wraps you in the shin, like sharply with its hoof,
Oof.
and kind of like it shakes its mane.
Oh, you stupid horse! You're gonna come with me, whether you like it or not.
I
Come
don't
on.
think he's taken a liking to you.
Oh, I know it hasn't. That's why I need it. Look back at the horse, and I just try and jump on. No saddle.
Oh, this sounds great. Yeah. Roll me a acrobatics or athletics. You can choose.
Immediately.
So, you're able to, like maybe you use like the side of the pen and like you push off with your foot and you swing your leg up and around, and you get on the horse and then I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Cool. Awesome.
Wow.
So it rears up and whinnies like really loudly, and bursts out of the pen that it's in. Farron, where are you when it does this?
I would hopefully anticipate I would be kind of at the side, not directly in front
Sure.
of the gates.
Sure, yeah. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. 16.
Perfect. So, you, after the horse like runs by you and is like kind of like bucking Chester like around the yard, you see over at the house, you see a lantern flick on from what you know to be the master bedroom. And I think we slash cut over to the group back on the boat for a moment.
As Morella's saying, where are those other 2 at?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly what happens. Also, notably, Petrov's not here either.
Probably stealing shit.
No, he's actually probably diplomating things.
No,
If
I think that's his answer to you.
Yeah. And that's Morella's answer to Hannibal. Because that's what he does. And she just kind of like sighs and she's like, I see. Well, let's hope they're back on the boat soon enough.
Hmm.
And then, I guess, looking over at Aelin, seeing whether that conversation has ended or not is up to her, I would suppose.
So, Aelin, once you've reassured, what was this dude's name? Caradoc. Once you've reassured Caradoc sufficiently, what would you do? He kind of like looks and he kind of like stretches and yawns. He's like, it's been well, priestess. It's good to see you. I'm going to take my rest now.
Sleep well, good friend. May Shalia show mercy on your body and soul.
Yeah. And he kind of like gives you a bow and hurriedly walks away. And as you turn and watch him, you see the individual who's in like the trench coat with the hood, sitting next to them. And he's facing you, and he kind of he has like a cup in his hand, like a steel cup, like a traveling cup essentially. And he takes like a sip out of it, and he's just looking at you.
I give him the brightest smile. And then I think I turn to find Morella, because I know that she had asked specifically to talk to me, so I would not haste, I would go there with...
You would find her talking with Hannibal over the railing and just finishing the conversation as she turns back and she's like, oh, Aelin.
Hello, you requested my presence.
I did. Hannibal, leave us.
There's a please to that.
And she like sighs and like, can you please
So
leave us?
as he leaves, I would say, "Good tidings, Hannibal. Sleep well."
Oh, fuck you. He walks off and attempts to reestablish communications with Dane.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere a little bit secluded on the boat.
Yeah. So Morella's still like facing out towards the water. She's just like, how are you doing, Aelin?
Well, it's so nice of you to ask. I'm doing quite well. How are you doing?
I suppose I'm fine. No, that would be a lie.
You suppose? Well, I'm here. I'm a great listener. Please tell me. Is there something I can do to help?
Yes, I need you to answer a question. Well,
Anything.
at least this question I have for now. Perhaps I will have more for later.
We have many questions, but please go on.
And she like turns to like face you. Why do you travel with me?
I was given a task. Nothing more.
That is it. There's no other motive. Come now, not all people are just simple on their deeds and what they do. People have ulterior motives.
Oh, me, milady? I have absolutely no motives other than to do what I was asked. I was given a task. I need to complete that task to the best of my ability, and I think I'm doing quite well. Please tell me if I'm doing otherwise.
I do not believe you. But if you will not tell me, then that is fine.
Well, Lady Fairheart, I cannot control what you believe, but that is the truth. Blessings be to Shalia. She makes a motion of a prayer, like if she was telling a lie, you would know.
Sure.
Yeah, and she just looks back off and she's like, every single one that travels with me has an ulterior motive. Even those of the faintest of hearts.
Sounds to me like maybe that's what's gotten you into trouble. Maybe you should change that.
Trouble happens with my path, regardless of whether it is good or bad. You will find this out, sure enough.
Oh, my lady, I have witnessed my fair share of trouble in my life. Don't you worry. But it is best to stay positive about things. Keeps things going forward in a positive direction. But there are better people in the world to surround yourself with. You should seek them out.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I remember in the house that blew up.
I mean, yeah, the
Flash
image.
to cut to all of the bad things that have occurred in the last,
Yeah, I mean,
Intro
20
to a
sessions.
whole hour of just clips of all the bad things that's happened.
I mean, I keep this as the first one for a reason. So we can just observe the bad things that occur.
I learned.
But she nods and gives a small smile, and she's like, "If only everyone had your outlook, Aelin. But that is not how this world works."
And I think she kind of takes her knuckles and kind of punches you on the shoulder a little bit and says, "But that's what we're here for, isn't it, Morella?"
What do you mean?
It's for us. It is us to spread goodwill and to help those who maybe have fallen on hard times. Isn't that what your goal is?
My goal. And she looks down at the water, and she probably sees her reflection as it rifts a bit, and she kind of holds out a hand. She's like, I suppose that is my goal. My original intent was to save people after seeing the blight that of undead attacks on a small town.
That is a righteous path, my lady. I encourage you to seek that.
It is what I seek, but is me becoming Empress really all worth it?
Oh, is that your ultimate goal? To become Empress?
It has been my only goal. Ever since I was a small girl, I've trained and parted my body to become what I am today, so that perhaps I may become Empress. Realizing that becoming Empress would allow me to save people. But now I have doubts.
There are other paths one can lead to help people. Kind of like gestures to herself.
Perhaps. I am just wondering that if me being Empress is actually the right path or not.
It is definitely a difficult decision to consider. If there's anything I can do to help you work through this difficult decision, I am fully willing to listen.
She kind of pauses for a moment and then looks over at you. I highly doubt that.
She kind of looks hurt when you say that. She goes, well, yes, indeed. Just if something comes up, please let me know. If there's anything else I can help you with, well, I might take leave myself. I am a bit tired. You know, I must keep on my toes to make sure I am most effective in helping all those around me. You know, mistakes are made when you get too weary.
Of course. You may take your leave, Aelin.
So, as you're walking back, Hannibal, you're like finding a secluded place on the boat, and by the gangplank that leads onto the dock, you see that First Mate Rightway is standing with a member who's in white actual robes, like full on robes, has a hood up, but you can see, like, through the hood you can see these long like darker curls that kind of tumble out of the bottom front of the hood, and you can see just like the lower half of a face, who appears to be speaking with Rightway, and as they're speaking, you look at this woman. It's very clearly a woman. You look at this woman, and I need you to roll me a charisma saving throw. So it's not high enough. Your vision blurs, and you get a headache, very splitting. And it passes a moment through you. Some power momentarily took a hold of you and then released you. And then you hear a voice through the connection that you have with Dane, but it is not Dane's voice. You hear, "There is power here. What have you done?" And you recognize the voice very clearly as the individual to which you claim to be a priest of.
What the hell are you talking about?
What do you mean, who am I talking about?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying back.
Oh, okay. I thought you were, like, talking to me, like, out of character. She hides it well, but she dwells here in this place.
I look at my... Does this sound like her?
Yeah, no, it sounds... It's very clearly your patron. And it's very clearly through the connection that Dane has, but you haven't... Dane put up that wall.
Okay, so she said, what is this power? What was the other thing?
She says there is power here, and then she said she hides it well.
Is she like you?
Different. Stronger, maybe.
Oh, that's always great to hear.
She dwells here.
That's... Man, I'm really feeling good about this boat ride now.
And then when you say that, the connection is ceased. And you hear the voice in your head. "Greetings, master. I apologize for that. I know not what came over me. I am ready to assist you again if you should choose."
Alright, first off, Dane.
Yes, master.
What the hell just happened?
He kind of like, you feel confusion across the bond that the two of you share. And the confusion goes for a moment and then says, I believe that she granted you a visit. I was
I'm talking about the dude that touched you.
my mind was assaulted by an unknown force. It retaliated against my action.
Okay.
My apologies if I worried you, Master.
I was annoyed, but all right. So, and I'm gonna walk back over to what's their faces. I'm not going to attempt to engage this individual.
Yeah, so Aelin has turned away and is walking to like her quarters because you all actually have rooms on this boat because it is it's actually like a passenger liner, not like a merchant vessel that you were on previously. So Aelin like descends down and Morella's staring, morbidly over the railing of the ship. And then obviously Merrick is sitting over by the fire still. He appears to be like sharpening a dagger, just on a like smooth whetstone.
I just approach Morella and I don't say anything.
You just stand kind of behind her as we see the moonlight kind of shining on her hair and her face, and the reflection of her in the water.
I'm not going to be saying anything right now.
Sure. So we get a shot of this woman who like ascends the gangplank onto the ship.
Keeping an eye on her.
And yeah, so as you look, she kind of like she takes it all in as she looks around. And she, now that she's on the boat, she kind of lowers her hood, and as the dark long curls kind of tumble out down her back, and you can see very clearly she is an elf, probably of the high variety. Her skin is not tanned in complexion like the wood elves.
So that feeling I got was like, it felt like something just like ran through my mind.
It felt like something took control of you.
Do I still feel that way?
No, it was a brief moment where your vision blurred, you got a headache, and then it went away as fast as it came. And then immediately after that, what's her name again? Sorry, I apologize.
Shaltressa.
Shaltressa, yes. Shaltressa spoke with you immediately following that. For all you know, it could have been Shaltressa. Like establishing a connection. Who knows?
I doubt that, but So yeah, I'm just gonna keep an eye on her.
Yeah, she kind of like looks around and her brow kind of furrows when she meets your gaze, and she very quickly kind of descends down to where the quarters are on the ship. Which brings us back to, if there's nothing else anybody wants to do on the ship, brings us back to Farron. You have a moment to act here, to perhaps not wake up the entire keep and garrison with the bucking, neighing horse that Chester is attempting to ride. Or
put down the horse.
You could always just fucking vanish.
Yeah. That's looking like a great option right now, by the way.
I don't think Chester would fault you for that, to be honest.
Not at all.
Because I think it's exactly what Chester would do in this situation.
I think it's what Chester's about to do in this situation.
Yeah, it appears that your 8 is not enough to tame the wild stallion.
Who knew?
Not yet.
Who knew?
So the house is currently waking up.
Yeah, no, you see like the flash of like lantern light coming from the master bedroom where like the woman was sleeping. But again, you don't know where the Lord is. He's unaccounted for. You don't know where if there's any other servants available. They obviously have a farrier, right? Like, since they are horse lords, and we're in Averheim, and farriers are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
So there's at least 2 servants that exist in the house. We also know there's a vicious dog that I thought
Alright,
for sure
I'm
Chester
going
was
to
going to
try
kill.
and buy us some time.
Okay.
This-
How so?
This is going to go terribly wrong. I just know it.
Mm.
I'm going to stand in the pen where the horse has just started out from.
Yeah.
And wait until servants come to check what's up.
Okay. I mean, so like maybe I haven't described the scene accurately enough, but the horse is like bucking and running around in the rear courtyard with Chester on top of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure that
It's
they're
not
going.
completely
It's not
off.
like bolted off. It's
Okay.
not worried about running away. It's worried about getting Chester off of its back. It's going to be very obvious when the people burst from the rear of this house that there is somebody attempting to ride bareback on this stallion.
I don't suppose I could persuade a horse.
It's animal handling. It's not a
Yeah.
sentient creature.
Um,
You could attempt to calm it, to see if you could calm it. I think it would require Chester getting off the back as well to make another attempt to calm it, but
yeah. I think the best thing I can do is give another bardic inspiration to Chester. Say, get off the damn bloody horse and get it back in its pen.
okay. There's your bardic inspiration. Do you feel particularly inspired, Chester?
Very inspired.
Okay. So what is your one
knock
action?
it off.
You're essentially like you got your arms wrapped around the horse, you got your knees clenching as tight as possible, and you're barely hanging on to this thing. It's got a lot of muscle on it, and so it's like bucking around and attempting to throw you off and making all kinds of noise.
I'm gonna get real close to its ear and whisper, "I'll get you one day, bastard," and then just kind of like backflip off.
Yeah, you're gonna try to. Okay, yeah. Make me one more acrobatics check to see if you can.
I'm gonna use bardic inspiration
Yeah,
on that.
I would use bardic inspiration.
Yeah. Almost.
Nice, actually. That's really good. Up to a 14 is significant in this instance. So you're able to do it. You kind of like, maybe you roll your ankle. Doesn't cause any damage, but like you, you know, we see that like the mud, it was just not stable enough. After you get off his back, the horse is going to attempt to kick you again once. So let's see here.
Yeah.
Hitting you.
Yeah.
Uncanny dodge is infinite. That's super good.
Every
it's-
reaction, yeah.
2d6 plus what was it?
Yo, man, they made it rogue tanks
It's
are best
basically that
tanks.
you can use it once around.
Only once around.
Okay. So you take 5 damage. You get like caught in the shoulder and you go sprawling from its rear hoof, and then it now that it's off you, it kind of like trots a little bit. Are you guys going to make a break for it at this point?
Aaron, time to go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So I think that we get the scene of like Farron's over at the wall like with his hands cupped. Chester like runs over, puts his foot in his hands, and Farron like flips him over the wall, and then Chester like reaches an arm down and pulls Farron up after him, and we get the escape. And Farron, you get behind the stone wall just in time to see the cook like burst out of the kitchen with like a large like wooden or large like metal ladle in their hand, like ready to fucking just pummel anything that comes through the that's in the courtyard. And we see like there's a swarm of activity now. Like the lady comes down in like her nightgown, and she's like holding up a lantern and like looking out. We see the farrier, he like is like rubbing his eyes, and we get a moment of him like, oh, that damn horse, That'll be the death of me. It will. And he is pulling his boots on to go recover the fucking stallion, and the two of you are like giggling and run off into the night, towards the direction
Giggling.
of the
That's the
boathouse.
important word here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Hey.
that nervous, like scared to giggle though, that you almost fucked it up real bad, and then
Chester
you didn't.
almost fucked it up real bad. Can we just clarify that?
Chester almost fucked it up real bad twice. It's just mention
Both
that.
times with animals.
See,
Yeah.
I did all this perfectly.
See,
You know, I was
I
in,
knew
I was out,
I
didn't
knew
make a
exactly
sound.
how to get you, Chester. If you tried to go stealing anything, just put animals that are gonna detect you.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys get away, and that seems like a perfect point to take a break.
Yes.
It's great. I need to pee.
All right, be right back.
So let's take a quick 10-minute-ish break. We'll be back just after the turn of the hour.
Okay.
All right.
Is it just me, by the way, that
All right, everybody on Twitch, we're going to take a quick little break. Sorry about the low audio. I know they're kind of low today. I apologize. Discord is super fucked up for me for some reason. I'm not sure why, but we're going to get it fixed. I'm going to start a timer here. I'm going to turn on some music, and then we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.